Hey Cloud Cadets, it's Roger, it's King Nimbus, and today I got some more comic reviews for y'all. So, this is for the week of June 10th. Happy late June birthday to all the people who got a birthday in June. I know a few people who got them, so happy late birthday to y'all publicly. But as always, this is on a 1 to 5 cloud scale. I'm King Nimbus. Clouds make sense, so I'm picking clouds. 5 being good, 1 being bad. Of course, this is my opinion, so if you don't love it, it is what it is. Let's get into it. To begin, I didn't know this was a thing. We got Jay and Silent Bob, Jay's of Future Past, issue 1. At least it says issue 1. I'm unsure if there's gonna be any more. However, if you don't know who Jay and Silent Bob are, they're a duo who show up in a lot of various Kevin Smith movies and a few other movies. Clerks is like the first one that they appear in. Mallrats and a few other movies they show up. They're very like big cult classic kind of duo. They're very popular within their own thing. They even have their own movies. Pero I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. I'll be honest with y'all, it was a super fun romp for those who like Marvel and Jay and Silent Bob type of stories. It was just really funny. If you like Jay and Silent Bob, you're gonna like this. If you like Marvel and Jay and Silent Bob, you're gonna love this probably. So 4.5 out of 5. I actually need to see more Jay and Silent Bob stuff, if I'm being honest with y'all. Next up on Marvel, we got Daredevil Issue 3. I got this very cool variant of Silk, Web Weaver, Spider-Man character, if you don't know. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 clouds. It was really cool. I hadn't read any of the recent Daredevil, but I'm glad I picked this issue up. I thoroughly enjoyed the characterization, the extra guest, and the action. It was just really cool. I have had very few actual readings of Daredevil, but the times I have, I've always really enjoyed it. So it's probably my sign to go pick up more Daredevil, if I'm being honest with y'all. So 4.5 out of 5 clouds for Daredevil issue 3 and this very cool silk cover. And next up, we got Ben 10 issue 2. I got these very cool variants. We got, if I'm right, Cannonball and Blaze? Ah, shit, I forget his name. I love that character. He was one of my favorite aliens of Ben 10. I only gave this a 2.5 out of 5 clouds. This issue was okay. I didn't love most of the art. A few moments were cool, and the allusions to Graham's background was really cool. It didn't add much to the overall story, if I'm being honest with y'all. We got maybe an additional baddie. I enjoyed some of the redesigns, but there was also one point that it felt unnecessary. There's a point where he's kind of transitioning at one point through a few different aliens, but not like how we see in the show at all. It's just really fast. Boom, look at this alien. Boom, change. And I was like, this is cool, but I'm also like, why is this happening? So 2.5 out of 5 for Ben 10 issue 2. I'm hoping issue 3 picks up more. And next up in our independents, we got Muppets Noir issue 4. This was actually the last issue for this kind of series, and it was a very fun conclusion to the story. I felt it ended much faster than I wanted it to, but I really enjoyed the musical number and the jokes. Super fun, and I highly recommend this little mini-series for Noir and or Muppet fans. Like I said, I just kind of wish it had more opportunity to spread its legs out, I guess. It just felt like there was maybe one extra half an act that we could have added that would have kind of made the story. Make it a 5th issue. Make it a 5th issue. What's the problem with 5 issues? Come on. So yeah, last issue, Muppets Noir, issue 4. 4 out of 5 clouds, y'all. And our last independent, Archie and the Army of Darkness. Look at them. I gave this 4.5 out of 5 clouds, y'all. This was a really fun ending to this crossover. The action was fun, the jokes fit, and I just love me some Evil Dead. I'm really hyped for Evil Dead Burn. I saw Evil Dead Rise. You can look, there's a little Evil Dead box set down there of the series and the movies. I want more. I felt there were a few moments that really shined though. Really just nailing the Army of Darkness camp and humor throughout this whole mini-series and this kind of event. It was just awesome. I highly recommend this for Army of Darkness fans, Evil Dead fans, and if you like Archie, I mean, you guys kind of love everything, I guess, because Archie's crossovered with everything. It's kind of ridiculous. It's awesome, though. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5 for Archie and the Army of Darkness, y'all. And if I didn't mention, that was the last one for Archie and the Army of Darkness. I'm really sad about it. And next up on our DC run is Fury of Firestorm issue 3. I gave this 4 out of 5 clouds, my lovely people. This was another cool issue. I loved seeing how many strings were being pulled for Firestorm to exist. I don't know if any of that information or context for how Firestorm came to be had ever existed prior to this run, if it had been added with this current run, maybe been expanded upon. either way, as a new fan, as someone who'd never really read any Firestorm or really had much exposure to him besides maybe DC, like Injustice and like Batman Brave and the Bold, it was really cool. I thought it was interesting. I kind of wish the action sequence was longer though. It fit. I think it explained very much how powerful Firestorm is. I just wanted more, especially because the cast he was up against. I want more action in Firestorm. He can do cool stuff. Come on. So 4 out of 5. Like I said, I want more, and they're skimping on them details, y'all. And next up is Barbara Gordon Breakout Issue 2. Look at this cool comic. I gave this 4.5 out of 5 clouds. This was just such an intriguing issue. I honestly can't tell who is truly helping our girl out, or if there's an even longer con that like we should be prepared to lose our emotions for, you know what I mean? Also, seeing the current situation clash with her internal past is really cool too. It's very, as much as I think a lot of fans like kind of roll over at seeing certain parts of her past getting brought up because of like maybe how it had been initially brought up or maybe how it had been introduced by certain interpretations. I think it being brought into this and maybe with a different light is a very interesting take, and I'm very curious to see how they handle it. So overall, 4.5 out of 5 clouds for Ms. Barbara Gordon Breakout, because it's just really cool. There's a lot of thrilling elements and it's really intriguing. Last but definitely not least, because it was just so cool, we got all these cool variants of our girl Catwoman, Absolute Catwoman issue 1. This got 5 out of 5 clouds, y'all. It was easy to pick. It was easy to rate this. This was an absolute stellar first issue. I loved the writing, Selina's narration, the characterization. They were all just very refreshing and just so cool. The action was insane, and the ending, horribly excited for the next issue, and I cannot wait. As much as I know like there's maybe some absolute fatigue happening more recently, I loved this issue, especially Selina. Her entire perspective and view was just very cool. I loved seeing it, and even more of her backstory that is not even related to Bruce, which is just so cool. She's awesome. But I hope y'all enjoyed this extended kind of comic review. I had a lot of comics to get through. I am 1 week behind, and then hopefully I can catch up. So I hope y'all have been enjoying all these little reviews. I hope you smelled at some point in this little video. If you haven't smelled today though, I hope you smell it sometime soon in the future. Have a good one, y'all. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.